Directives from dark powers. Today, so many young people are being misguided, even destroyed, by all kinds of ideas and theories. That is why so many are overwhelmed and confused. They want to go in one direction, but the current of our times takes them in another. Dark powers are pushing their propaganda on young people who have not yet developed good judgment. In schools, for example, some teachers say to their students, "If you want to develop initiative, do not listen to your parents, do not obey them." Words like these ruin young people. They no longer listen to their parents or teachers, and you can't really blame them, because that's what they have been told. In order to develop initiative and independence, you shouldn't listen to your parents. And to someone who lacks life experience, this seems logical. On the one hand, there is the state, the government of the country, which often supports this kind of behavior. On the other, we have people who do not care about country and family. They give all kinds of insidious advice and take advantage of young people to achieve their evil ends. As a result, a lot of harm has been done to our youth. Some among them end up under the direct orders of the devil himself. Satan worship is widespread. One can hear people in clubs singing all night, "Satan, we adore you. We do not want Christ. You give us everything. What a horrific thing. Poor kids, what is that the devil is giving you, and what is he taking from you?" You see young men and women, adolescent youths, who have a wild look in their eyes from the many coffees they drink and the cigarettes they smoke. You see that their eyes do not sparkle, that the glow of God's grace is not found on their faces. An architect was right when he said to a group of young men whom he was escorting to the holy mountain, "Our eyes resemble the eyes of spoiled fish." He had accompanied a group of 10 young men between the ages of 18 to 25 to the holy mountain. Having made a spiritual wrong turn in his own life, he understood and felt bad for young people who lived prodigal lives. So he convinced some of them to come to Mount Athos. I met them on my way down from the Calvary. I said to them, "I am on my way out, so let's sit right here for a while." And we did. It was then that a group of students from the Athonites Academy happened to be going by. I invited them to join us, so we all sat together. The architect asked his group, "Have you noticed something here?" The young men were puzzled. Look at each other's eyes and then look at the eyes of these students. Do you see that their eyes sparkle with ours, while ours are like the eyes of a spoiled fish? And indeed, when I looked carefully at them, I realized that their eyes did resemble the eyes of spoiled fish. They were dull and faded, while those of the Athonia students glowed. The reason is that the youths from the academy prayed, made prostrations, attended regular worship services. The eyes are the reflection of the soul. This is why Christ said, "Your eye is the lamp of your body." So many youths come to the holy mountain or go to the other monasteries and become monks. And despite the fact that monastic life is, what should I say, no piece of cake, one can see the joy radiating from their faces. But for so many who live in the world, life is sheer hell. They have everything they want, but their lives are full of pain. Various trends have come to us today from all directions. Hinduism and other occult religions have come from the east, communism from the north, various theories from the west. From the south, from Africa, we get magic and other forms of cancer. A young man, wounded by such beliefs, came to my gallery once. I understood that it was his mother's prayer that had brought him to me. After we had conversed for a while, I told him, "Look, son, you must find a spiritual father so that you may go to confession, receive the holy chrism, and get some help to make a new beginning. You must be anointed again with a holy chrism because you have renounced Christ." The poor child was crying. "Father, please pray for me," he was pleading. "I cannot get rid of all these ideas. They have brainwashed me. I know that my mother's prayers have brought me to you. A mother's prayers can make such a difference. These poor children are destroyed when they become victims of manipulation. They panic, become anxious, turn to drugs, and go from one evil to another. May God help them." Geronda, is it prudent to tell these youths that these are satanic things? Of course it is, but you must find the right way to say it. How can these youths come to know Christ? Is it easy for them to know Christ when, before they know anything about orthodoxy, they go to the gurus of India and stay there for 2 or 3 years? Then, after they get dizzy with all the magic tricks, they find out that there is mysticism in orthodoxy. So they come to us seeking to see the light and to have experiences of a higher nature. And if you ask them, "How long has it been since you last took Holy Communion?" they answer, "I do not remember if my mother ever took me to receive Holy Communion when I was little." I then ask them, "Have you ever gone to confession?" "I don't care about confession," they reply. How can you get anywhere with these people when they don't not know anything about orthodoxy? What must we do to help them, Geronda? Well, it will not be easy as long as they see the church as the establishment. You must realize that it will be very difficult to find common ground with them, but young people of good disposition are helped, and in the end they return to the church.